Here are us to evaluate some limits, and what makes these special is that we are dealing with some sine and cosine, meaning that we are going to have to use the unit circle because I'm doing this all without a calculator. So in this one here, any limit that I'm dealing with, the first thing that I try and do is plug in what x is approaching. So I'm really saying sine of pi minus 1. Now, if I think about the unit circle, I probably should have drawn this beforehand because I'm going to use this a lot. But here is my very generic, basic, beautiful unit circle. I know I'm talking about sine of pi. Pi is half of the circle. So I'm looking for the sine or the y value of this point here, which is just 0 because it's not going up or down. So sine of pi is just 0, and 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So that's the value of this first limit, is negative 1. Second one here, I'm plugging in 5 pi over 6. Here's where it gets a little bit trickier. I should probably change colors here. So I'm doing cosine of 5 pi over 6 times root 3 over 2. So 5 pi over 6, I know 6 pi over 6 is the same thing as pi, so I'm really like 1/6 of the way less. So about here, meaning this is the one where the short side is the y value and the long side is the x value. And since I'm going to the left, I know that my x value is going to be negative. Since I'm looking at cosine here, I know this has to be negative root 3 over 2. So again, I don't even memorize necessarily the unit circle itself, but I know the three different possibilities of numbers other than 1 and 0 are going to be 1/2, root 2 over 2, or root 3 over 2. This is the shortest side. This is any of the four corners, right? Any of the 45-degree type stuff. And this is going to be the long side of a 30, 60, 90. So in this one here, since I'm dealing with the x value or the long side, I got negative root 3 over 2. Now I need to multiply that by root 3 over 2. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. So my value of this limit is going to be negative 3/4. Oops. Third one here, clear this up. Woo, I forgot that was not a picture. So next one here, I'll do in blue. And now I'm doing cosine squared, which means I'm going to find whatever this value is and square it, of 5 pi over 3. 5 pi over 3 is 1/3 less than 2 pi, so really it's going to be kind of right here-ish. This is like 1/3 of the bottom half. So again, I don't know that exactly, but all I can really tell here is that like my x value is going to be the short side of the 30, 60, 90, and my y value is going to be the long side. So since I'm looking for cosine, I'm really looking for the short side here, which is going to be 1/2, and it's positive because we're going to the right. And then again, this little 2 here just means I'm going to square whatever that value is. Sorry, that's a plus sign. 1/2 squared is 1/4. 1/4 plus 3/4 is just 1. So my value of this entire limit is just 1. All right, on to the next one. We got 2 more here. So next one here, I'm doing in green. We got 2 that are going to be a little bit, again, now I have to do 2 different things, but it's honestly not too bad. The other thing, just because I'm a math teacher and I know this, there's this idea that we know that sine squared of an angle plus cosine squared of an angle is equal to 1. So I know my answer is going to be 1, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. So we're doing 7 pi over 6. That's pi over 6, or a sixth more than half of the circle. So right here, my drawing here isn't the best of the circle, but again, what I should be able to tell is that my cosine, or my x value, since I'm going to the left, is going to be negative root 3 over 2, because that's the long side. My y value, since we're going down, is going to be negative 1/2, because it's the short side. And then I have to square both of those things because I'm doing, let's do this, negative root 3 over 2 squared because of this guy, plus negative 1/2 squared because of this guy equals something. So negative root 3 times negative root 3 is positive 3. 2 times 2 is 4. So this became 3/4. Negative 1/2 times negative 1/2 is positive 1/4, which was the cosine piece. 3/4 plus 1/4 is 1. And just like I expected, my answer for this limit is just 1. All right, last one. This one here, we're plugging in 3 pi over 2 in for all of these x's. So in this one here, sine of 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 ends up being right here. That's a nice and easy one. So in this case, my sine value is going to be negative 1 because I'm going straight down here to this point. My cosine value is going to be 0 because I'm not going left or right at all. And then this one's a little bit trickier because I have to multiply it by 2. So it's really going to be 5 times sine of 6 pi over 2, which this is just 3 pi. And so if we remember, this is going to get a little bit weird, so I'm going to do this in pink. 2 pi is all the way around. And then I'm adding another pi, so now I'm dealing with this line right here in pink. And my sine of that value there is 0. So it's 5 times 0, which is still just 0. And so my final value of this limit is just going to be negative 1, because it's negative 1 minus 0 plus 0, and now I'm good to go.